Well, welcome to Melbourne TV. I'm joined by Craig Jennings in the lead up to this week's clash against Collingwood. But first of all, mate, what an epic game on Sunday against the Kangaroos in Tassie.
Yeah, it was a great game. Would have been better if we got across the line, but we learned a lot about our players and our coaches and how we need to get things done in tight situations. But I think the real positive out of that game is the resilience by the players. What were we, 7 or 8 goals down, and we've hit the front pretty early in the second quarter, and also the new goal scoring ability we've got, where pretty much every week we've been able to kick 5 or 6 goals in a row, and I think that's a really positive thing going forward.
Yeah. How do you sort of, assess and dissect that game a couple of days on?
Yeah, it's the same. The footy week to week is exactly the same. So we had a big session on Monday reviewing it. Firstly, the coaches getting together for 2 or 3 hours, and then the players split into their groups and they spent about 2 hours going through the game. But the message this year is a very positive one, and we've got really good DNA stuff with our contest that's been instilled into the group over the last 2 or 3 years, and now we're learning a bit of a new system in terms of structure with our defensive positioning and the way we move the footy. And a little bit like the game against Essendon, it didn't go to plan. We retreated. But we put things in place for this week where they played the way they train, and for the majority of the game they got it right, and that was evidence in us kicking 20 goals against a team that is probably the first or second oldest list in the comp, a very professional outfit, a team that's going to go close to playing in a grand final this year, and we did everything but win the game right at the end. And with such an inexperienced team, some of the lessons out of that game are going to be really valuable for us going forward.
Fascinating contest this weekend against the Magpies. Beat Collingwood last year, late in the season. Obviously, similar situation, 1 win each for both sides, but they've obviously come under a bit of heat as well, media-wise. How do you prepare for a game like that this weekend?
Yeah, a little bit like the review. We prepare the same every single week. It doesn't matter where the opposition are on the ladder. We prepare for them at their best. We note that there will be a lot of talk or a lot of emphasis out of that footy club about their forward 50 pressure and the way they press up, given they only had 2 forward 50 tackles. So we prepare our players for that, but we think our ball movement can manage that part of the game really well. And really the game for us starts and finishes in the contest, so we get that part of the game right, and we think it will stand us in good stead to get a good result this week. We also note that they've got Sidebottom and Varco back into the team, and they're 2 great running players, and that's going to really change the way they look this week. So we plan for them at their best, and we really look forward to the game on Sunday.
And yourself, how are you going? A couple of games in with the new club. What's it like in the coach's box? And I guess your role at the moment now in the home and away season?
Yeah, really loving it here at the footy club from the minute I walked in, and we're all still working or getting to know each other in that coach's box, but it's been pretty smooth so far. It'd be good if we could just get a long way in front of in a game and be able to rest up a little bit, but there's been a lot of pressure in there because we've had to come back from 3 or 4 goals margins right from the start of NAB Cup. But specifically to my role, I'm in there to offer solutions and support all the coaches, do a little bit of predictive stuff based on what I think the opposition will do next, and how we manage some of the strengths of the opposition and turn them into flaws, and how we can expose some of their flaws. So it's really no different to my role. I had 10 years at Essendon, the role I did in that box, and definitely my year at the Bulldogs, I learned a lot about the way they go about it, and I'm not surprised that they're such a good team and one of the premiership favourites at the moment. Yeah.
Do you notice a lot of differences between each club? Is there subtle changes along the way that you pick up?
Now, what you need in the coach's box is a real variety of opinions and ideas. So you don't want 6 Paul Roosers in there or 6 Simon Goodwins. You want a nice blend, and I think, I know that's definitely what we've got at this footy club, and we work together really well in there, and we're a really solutions-focused coach's box, and I think that's important. And we're getting, because there's a bit of a new system defensively and in attack, things aren't working perfectly at the moment, but when they do work well, you see it on the scoreboard where we are kicking 5 or 6 goals in a row, and we're a pretty dangerous footy club in attack, and we don't want to get away from the stuff that Roosy's built on for a few years, and that Brennan McCartney and Simon Goodwin are really strong on, and that's the stuff at the contest that's in our DNA. And the other stuff is just to help us be able to better win a contest and then score from it, as opposed to just winning the contest and not being able to do anything with the footy.
All right, mate. Well, great chatting to you, listening to your insights, and best luck for this weekend.
Thanks for your time, Matty. Good.